Thank you once again, Samson. I think that to put the discussion in perspective, we must acknowledge that this budget is coming on the back of an extended credit facility program. That is the IMF program that we are on. And so the IMF program places a lot of emphasis on fiscal consolidation. You need to get your macro statistics right. And when that is right, all other things will follow. And so when you look at the budget, I also see that there are a lot of social interventions that are being enhanced or improved. And that is also, to a large extent, addressing some of the negative press that the IMF and international agencies suffer because under periods of austerity, there are usually a lot of hardship in the system. And so when you look at the budget, you see that LEAP beneficiaries are increasing. There's been increase in capitation, grant, school feeding program, and all the other indicators that are sort of cushioning the poor in terms of while trying to stabilize the environment. And so critically looking at this, you see that most of the interventions within the budget are really on the consumer end. The consumer end in the sense that the minister indicated. So for example, e-levy no longer exists, meaning that you are increasing disposable incomes of people. Betting tax, although I don't know how young people will come at me at this, but I still have a lot of reservations against the removal of the betting tax. I am of a considered opinion that it is income that must be taxed because we continuously talk about the need to broaden the tax base. And if an existing handle is there and is credible, I don't think that we should take it out. But that said, it means that there is a lot of revenue, disposable income on the part of the consumer. But when you look at the producer end, you do not see a lot of it. And so, for example, the minister indicates that the big push policy would be sent to Parliament for, that is, I believe that when we get that, we will be able to look critically at some of the issues. So, for example, if you do not address some of the structural challenges in terms of the production side, agriculture, industry, services, to create the needed jobs, quote and unquote, you are putting a lot of resources, liquidity out there on the consumer side. But if producers are not able to respond with production, then it means that you struggle to control inflation. And then job creation would also be an issue. And so in all, for example, under the big push, I think that is where all the other incentives that will go to industry would be addressed. But one of the issues I also have in this country is that we need to have policy consistency. And so, for example, when you look at the social aspects, we have done well. And I think that you see that the hand of the IMF and international agencies consistently will push on continuity of your social policies. But when it comes to our industrial policies, you see that every time one government will come and do one thing, another would come and abolish and do another. So you do not find consistent support for Ghanaian businesses, for them to grow and thrive. Businesses do not become conglomerates over a 4-year period. And so, for instance, the One District, One Factory initiative, for example, I know that over 100 firms benefited from that. Don't we have any that are viable in there that can be supported under the Big Push initiative, for instance? Because the government is focusing about job creation. Job creation does not know any color as to whether it's MPP or NDC. But that also falls into the point that Dr. Otu indicated. If beneficiaries are consistently chosen based on party colors, then when a party changes, the other party would not want to do that. And I think that as a country, particularly on our industrial end, where we are trying to encourage indigenous businesses to grow and flourish, we should try and do away with some of these challenges. Really.
Thank you. And apart from what you just, enumerated, what in the budget excites you? What's in the budget? What other aspects of the budget excite you and give you hope that the situation will be turned around?
I must say that I am cautiously optimistic on that tangent, because we are still on a recovery mode. And when you look at most of the projections that are made, you see that it is moving closely with the IMF program implementation outline that is rolled out. And I must also indicate that the growth projection in the budget, for me, is very conservative. Very conservative in the sense that when you look at the growth numbers for last year, it was 5.7. I think that the data came out quite late, I think a day to the presentation of the budget. But if that is the case, the IMF program projects a growth rate of 4.7 for this year, and government is presently projecting a growth rate of 4. We want to look at what is driving that kind of conservative estimation. I see that, yes, there could also be some political gains that will make in there. So you are modest in your projection and then you overperform at the end of the day. But that also has implications on expectations of people. It has implications on government revenue and then implications on spending as well. But overall, I wouldn't say that I am overly excited or disappointed. I think that I'm in the middle. And particularly, this is a budget on the back of ECF program, and we are sticking to the program.
And the minority NPP, Stephen Amwa, you